Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talks MLB Breakdown for DFS and Prize Picks. Today is Thursday, April the 14th. I am Joe Sarvati, affectionately known as Coach, and I am joined by the one and only Mr. Josh Crash Davis. Crash, I got to say you made some fantastic calls yesterday, but I will say, first of all, I have to do the bow down thing for Mr. Clayton Kershaw.
Oh, my gosh.
We both faded him yesterday, and that was a punch straight square in the schnozola. So,
yeah,
Mr. Kershaw, you have my respect, sir.
Yeah, I think if we would have played him, we would have had the highest score just about of anyone out there. Because our lineup was like almost 180 without him, and all the top lineups had him in there. And he scored 70 fantasy points. So, yeah. If we had him, we would have been sitting very pretty yesterday.
The amazing thing with baseball is, there's so many break the slate performances like Clayton yesterday and then Vlad yesterday.
Last night, yeah.
It's like, you get a guy, it's not, football, basketball, you can have some somewhat break the slate guys, but not like baseball. I mean, it's just like through the roof, but review some for those that missed the show yesterday. You did have some phenomenal calls. You want to go over those real quick, and then we'll dive into today's slate.
Yeah, the top two were Pete Alonso and Jose Ramirez. They both hit home runs. They both had, like 40 fantasy points or somewhere around there. I know Alonso was almost at 50 last I saw. It was like 47. So, really strong.
Great stuff. Now we're going to put the pitching and hitting together, and we're going to be in really good shape. So
that's the plan.
Yeah. So for those new to our baseball podcast, we're doing an abbreviated view of the slate, and we'll go over sometimes the early, main, depends on the scenario. We'll go over those, give some of our plays and fades, and also HR calls, our BVP calls, our stacks, all the stuff everybody has been requesting for baseball this year. And we're going to do it in a fairly, tidy fashion as far as time goes. Try to get everybody used to catching this podcast, and at least gives you a real solid start to your builds. And then, as always, especially early in the season, we have to follow the news based on weather, etc. So, first of all, real quickly, I want to thank our presenting sponsor, Prize Picks. Go to prizepicks.com. Use that promo code CoachTalk, all one word, no space, and they will match you dollar for dollar all the way up to $100 on that first deposit. If you want to join us for more information as far as full lineups for FanDuel and Yahoo, core plays and coaches clipboards for DraftKings, and then additional Prize Picks plays, then you want to go to DFS Coach Talk. That's like Daily Fantasy Sports, DFSCoachTalk.com. And you can sign up for as little as a 3-day pass for $10. We also have some really cool things we'll be announcing here as tomorrow for the start of the NBA playoffs on Saturday and Sunday. This is the play-in game NBA. I know it's already played some games, but the real playoffs start Saturday.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And we've kind of seen, in these couple of games that there's been near blowouts. I mean, that game last night was on the verge of it for a long time.
Yeah.
And San Antonio just started to really play well. Pop got them motivated, and they almost came back. But, yeah, there's been some surprising outcomes in some of these games just because they don't really play like a playoff game.
Yeah, and it'll all change come Saturday because now you've got a series. You've got to strategize it home and away. That's the real thing. So I cannot wait. I'm already prepared, half Saturday and half a Sunday already. So I'm really ready to go.
Yeah.
All right, no further ado. Let's dive into this baseball. Let's start out, Crash, with your plays, fades, all the stuff pitching wise for today's slate. And again, remind everybody what slate we're covering as you go into this, please.
Yeah, so we are going to be covering the main slate for both FanDuel and DraftKings. On FanDuel, it's an 8-game slate. It starts at 6:35 Eastern. And then on DraftKings, it's a 6-game slate that starts at 7:05 Eastern. So those are the games that we're going to be going over with our plays here. My top pitcher play is going to be Walker Buehler. He's 10,500 on FanDuel, 9,700 on DraftKings. There's multiple top pitching options on tonight's slate, I think, that I like. But I think that Buehler is one of the safer options with a matchup against the Reds team that I think is going to struggle to score runs against Buehler. He allowed 2.05 runs per game at home last year. And he's facing a Reds team that struck out the 5th most so far this year. So I do like Walker Buehler here as one of the top pay-up options. If you want to go for some value, you could look at Casey Mize. He's 7,000 on FanDuel, 7,100 on DraftKings. He had a rough start to the season against the White Sox, but they've been one of the better teams. They're the 4th best so far in batting average. And he faced the Royals 3 times last year, so he has seen them before. And he scored 38, 30, and 20 FanDuel points. So, solid numbers for that price at 7,000. And there's not a lot of good value on this slate. One of the better value plays, in my opinion, would have been Luis Severino, but he's going up against Toronto, and I don't want to pick on them. So Casey Mize would be my value play on this slate. My favorite pitcher, which hopefully we do better today with this than yesterday, but Shohei Ohtani, 10,800 on FanDuel. I don't want to pay all the way up. He's the most expensive pitcher on FanDuel. And then on DraftKings, he's still in play for me because he's 7,900. So it's almost a $3,000 price difference on the 2 sites. But going up against the Rangers, they've struck out the 4th fewest so far this year. And they're tied with the White Sox in the 4th most runs per game. So, they added Corey Seager, Marcus Semien, Mitch Garver, Brad Miller. Those guys have really helped improve their offense. And I think it's going to be hard for Ohtani to hit value at, on FanDuel at least at 10,800.
I like the call. And I'll also mention too, the wonderful part about today is doesn't look like we're going to have any weather issues, which is shocking. So knock on wood, that stays the same.
Yeah.
We saw a passing shower could cause a small delay in New York, but other than that, we should be good to go.
Yeah. We're looking forward to that. After yesterday, we had quite a few scares. So
definitely. Sharp plays there, no question about it. All right, let's shift over to a couple of prize picks plays to get this slate going. And again, we'll be sharing some of those also in our Discord after and up until lock. So what do you think? Do you have anybody zoned in on here that you really like from the prize pick side?
I do. I like Kyle Gibson over 28.5 fantasy score. He's going up against the Marlins in Miami, which is probably the most pitcher-friendly ballpark there is. And he had a really good start against Oakland. He had 7 innings shutout with 10 strikeouts for 61 fantasy points.
Yeah.
So 28.5 seems pretty low to me going in that, pitcher-friendly park against a Miami team that scored the 4th fewest runs per game so far this year. So
yeah, definitely.
I definitely like Kyle Gibson here.
I think that also a sharp play, sir. I want to throw one into the mix here. I really like. I think this is a breakout game for Marcus Semien from the Rangers. You mentioned about what the Rangers did. I mean, they opened the bank vault and rolled out all the money.
Yeah.
But Semien, we know that at times when he gets hot and gets on a streak, I want to be on the front side of that. So I like Marcus Semien over 5.5 fantasy score. Okay. So I really think that he can smash that number pretty fast. I also like him to go deep tonight too for what it's worth.
Okay.
Yeah. Very good. Anybody else on the prize pick side, or is that for rest of it for our members?
I was just going to do that one play for the podcast.
Okay.
With Gibson. Yep.
Gibson and Semien, take it to the bank.
Yes.
All right. How about the infamous BVP? You're almost like undefeated BVP guy. So we're just going to call it the BVP crash statistic here. No pressure.
No pressure. The last 2 days, though, with Ozzie Albies on Monday and Pete Alonso yesterday, those were really good for us. But today I'm going to go with Aaron Judge, 3,800 on FanDuel, 5,200 on DK. He's hit 471 against Kevin Gossman with 8 hits and 17 at-bats, including 3 home runs. So that's going to be my BVP play of the day.
Yeah. And some people, the great point is always argued. Does BVP matter? Is the sample size big enough? You know what? The bottom line is, I mean, I played baseball. I played in high school. I didn't, play super far, but there
Right.
were certain pitchers that I was looking forward. I saw the ball better. I mean, I'm just speaking from a firsthand, very, very low level, but I mean, it's real. I mean, there were guys. He's a friend of mine now. It's hilarious because we just went out and had dinner with them the other night. But big fella, John Bowen, he pitched at Warren High School, 6'7". He was like, throw the ball. He was already releasing it right in your face. He ended up playing at Notre Dame, got a little run in the minors. But that's the kind of example of before I got in the box with him, I was already wincing and leaning back. And, so I know it sounds silly, but those that want to argue that BVP isn't real, I think you're missing the boat. I know you can't just count on that.
Right.
But, it's real. I mean, it happens, the trends, the numbers. I think it makes perfect sense. All right, sir. The all-important thing in baseball, which to me is always number one on my list every day when I'm building my lineups, is what teams do I want to stack? Because that is so synonymous with winning consistently in MLB DFS. So what are you looking at stack-wise today?
I'm going to be looking at my top stack's going to be the New York Yankees. So I just mentioned Aaron Judge. He's going to be one of the top plays, obviously, on the slate. But Judge, Stanton, Donaldson, Aaron Hicks, they've all had a lot of success against Gausman. I think they're going to get 2, maybe even 3 of those 4 guys is going to hit a home run. So
you mentioned one of my home run call for in a few minutes here. So that'll be interesting, but very good. I think they'll be so chalky of a stack, but hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Sometimes you eat the chalk, just pick the right guys and move forward.
Right. And my top stacks are usually more chalky. I usually tend to go with that. And then I do a GPP stack, which is tonight's going to be the Dodgers. The Reds are going to be using a bullpen game with Luis Kessa as the opener. And then Reaver Sanmartin's going to come in for him. He had a really poor start against Atlanta last Friday. He only pitched 2 innings and allowed 5 runs. So I do like the Dodgers with Betts, Freeman, Muncy, Smith. That will be my GPP stack. And we have a core slate too. So I think that the Dodgers ownership is going to be lower than it normally would with the Yankees, of course. Yeah.
I mean, the Dodgers are going to be a popular, and the Yankees too, I guess, on a lot of slates. They're going to be the chalky stacks, and the Colorado thing always, shifts the dial a little bit. But the good part about it is with all of those really popular ones, somebody's going to suffer and be lower owned than they should be. I definitely like the call. And then let's go to HR call of the day. And I'll mention mine first, just in case you decide you want to take it. And it's Aaron Hicks from the Yankees. Like you said, he eats up Gausman. I love him going deep in this game. I can see one of those line drive homers over the right center field wall. So Aaron Hicks is my home run call today. How about you?
I thought you were going to take mine. I really did. I mentioned 4 Yankees, and we've now used 2 of them. So that leaves 2 other ones. And the one I'm taking is going to be Giancarlo Stanton. And I think you're going to take who we also refer to as Mike Stanton.
Exactly.
Last year. Yeah. 4 hits and 6 at-bats against Gausman, including a home run. He had the day off yesterday. I think he's going to come in refreshed and ready to go, and I think he's going to take one deep tonight. So
very nice, man. Outstanding. All right. Anything else that we want to throw into the mix here? Again, if you want to catch all of the info, the lineups, everything we're sharing, we'll be following the weather and any player news. I'll tell you, it is so refreshing in baseball, though, as opposed to basketball. There's so little news.
Yeah, I know.
You follow the weather. You don't have to sweat much. Everybody's lineups are ready early. It's very comforting compared to the insanity of the NBA at times.
Right. Yeah. It's very, it feels almost relaxing compared to it. So, yeah.
It does.
Definitely.
But anything else from you baseball wise?
I do want to throw out there our giveaway. We don't have a winner yet, right? We're still doing that.
We're still doing that today.
Okay. Yeah. So is it they like and retweet our tweet on Twitter, or is it the video here? I can't remember which one.
if they this video will be posted on Twitter by our man Colin. If you like it and retweet it, then you're entered into the contest.
Yeah, we're giving away a strategy session, a 30-minute strategy session with Coach and I. So whoever wins, they're going to get that. We give that to our members, but we want to give that to the public. So here's your chance to have a strategy session with us on NBA, Major League Baseball, whatever you guys want to talk, golf, whatever you guys want to talk about. So
and I'll tell you, a lot of our strategy sessions, we don't even go directly into the sport, because a lot of it, and what we found to be most helpful, is talking about contest selection and bankroll management. You know, if you're doing DFS on a daily basis or even close there to it, you have to have a plan. If you just dive in every day, it's not going to end well. So, you know, we'd love to share that information, sort of let you know, and it's not a sales strategy session. We're not trying to, buy members. We just want to get the word out there of how we're building our lineups, what we're looking at, what contests we're jumping in to do that. So feel free to enter that. And then, for any of our members that are listening that have either forgotten about that, but as part of your membership, you get that free strategy session. And, I've been on for as long as 45 minutes to an hour with people, just whatever they need to know, we're going to work on. Same thing with Crash. And it's a learning experience for everybody. And we try to stay very humble here. We don't say we have all the answers. We're always learning and growing, and the DFS industry is always changing. So, what contests are offered, what the trends are, and we just try to stay, one step ahead of all of that. So,
yeah, it's kind of funny you mentioned that, because I had one with Matt Sim yesterday. I remember Matt Sim.
Yeah.
And he's from Quebec. He's up in Canada. And he was talking to me about his favorite player, Vlad Guerrero. And he said that he didn't play him, or he did play him the night before last. And that he played him yesterday because he let him down the day before. And I said, well, sometimes you don't, you play these guys that let you down. You got to go right back to them. I hope he did, because obviously Guerrero smashed the slate. So
yeah, that would be wonderful. I sort of gave up on Wander Franco yesterday, so you can almost mark a home run in the books for him tonight.
Yeah, that's kind of why I went right back to him today.
Yeah,
it's just baseball for you, so that's how it works.
It does, no doubt. Well, all right. Again, with the procedure of how we're going to do this on a daily basis, we're going to keep these 15, 20 minutes so that everybody has time to listen to them. And again, it's going to give you a good, strong, hopefully foundation of some of your key plays of the day. So great job again, Crash. And, either one of the two of us or both of us will be on every day, making sure we share those with you. No basketball today, which is really weird, but it'll be the last time for quite some time. There's no hoops, but tomorrow we'll be back with all of our NBA information, podcasts, the selections, also PGA weekend only. We post on Fridays, and then of course with baseball. So appreciate our presenting sponsor, Prizepicks. Don't forget, go there if you haven't already, prizepicks.com. Sign up with the promo code Coach Talk and get that dollar for dollar match all the way up to $100. All right, Crash, let's smash it today. We're going right after it. Big 3-4 day weekend. We'll count Thursday in there. We're looking to get after it and sweep all the sports. So thank you so much for listening in. Appreciate it, and enjoy your day. And we'll be back again tomorrow when we look to crush it in NBA, PGA, MLB DFS, and Prize Picks.